Hey guys, the Crux here, coming at you with a review video for a game called Deadside. This is a game that I've been having a lot of fun with. It's a new early access survival game. Well, survival game wouldn't be like the full way to say it. It's more like a loot shooter with survival elements would probably be the best way to describe it. But anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with this game, and I just kind of wanted to make a quick review video about my thoughts on the pros and the cons, and also to let you guys know that I do have my own server in the game that is open for anybody to play in, and I will let you know the details on that at the end of the video. So first, the pros. The game is well optimized, something that I cannot give any other fucking survival game that first came out in early access. For the most part, it runs smoothly, besides sometimes when I go into buildings there are micro stutters, but nothing that makes it unplayable. And it runs good. There's really nothing else that I can say. It's smooth, it's fluid, it doesn't fucking fuck up every 10 seconds with stuttering and shit, FPS drops and shit like that. So good job on the developers from, the bang up job on that. The game is really easy to get into because basic weapons and gear is very easy to find. Though if you want stuff like military gear and such, you do need to put a little bit more effort into finding military style gear by coming across military specific scavengers, or by hitting up military bases or accruing enough money to, well, buy the stuff from the traders. And speaking of the scavengers for me are a very refreshing AI enemy to have. I'm very much glad that this game has AI scavengers that we fight against and not zombies like every other survival game has done to death, because it's boring, it's old. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has its place. I enjoy Scum. I like playing it with my friends, but every survival game and their fucking grandmother has done zombies. So the fact that this game doesn't do zombies and has an enemy that actually shoots back and stuff like that, I really appreciate. For what it is, the game looks good. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking in terms of graphics, but it doesn't look hideous either. I think, they did a really good job on the design of how the game overall looks, and I can't wait to see what gets further done with it. And I do love the sound design. Not so much the guns. The gun sounds could use a little bit of work, in my opinion. But, the sounds of nature and stuff like that as you're going through the trees and the woods, it all sounds really good. And really, I think the ultimate pro that I've got to come across is, while there have been a couple of bugs that I've ran into in the game, it was nothing that was absolutely game breaking. Most of it was really simple things, like my inventory would lag for a few seconds, and man, I said multiple times, sorry about that. Or one time I was doing a mission and I couldn't find the last guy to save my life, and then I suddenly see that the last guy is glitched behind a fence in the water at the docks, and I'm like, how did you get there? But anyway, I was still able to kill him and complete the mission, so I can't consider that game breaking. Now, as for the cons, hit detection in this game can be wonky. Anybody who has played Deadside so far can tell you that, yeah, hit detection can sometimes really suck in this game, where you could empty half a mag into somebody, see blood going everywhere, and yet they don't die. But they'll turn around and kill you. That is something that unfortunately happens in this game sometimes, and that is something that needs to be worked on. Lack of things to currently do. Really, the only thing there is to do right now in this game is PvP, fighting against the AI, some limited base building, and a handful of missions. Now, they do plan on introducing stuff like airdrops and the helicopter crashes, which I think will add a little bit of variety to the game. Though I do think there needs to be more, but I will save that for a separate video. The points of interest, they're not really special. Most of the points of interest are like a handful of houses for you to loot, and that's really about it. There's like maybe one city area that has some big buildings that I would love to go in and see, but you can't access them, which I think is disappointing. And I hope that at some point they do flesh out those big buildings and let us go inside and loot inside those. Crafting is very limited. Right now, it's just limited to a small amount of base materials, one improvised backpack, and making sterilized bandages. So hopefully, maybe things like makeshift body armor or other things will come to the game in which we can craft with resources. I think that would be great. Scab AI, while not super ridiculous, in my opinion, can be very inconsistent. Some scabs, from what I've seen, can't hit the broadside of a barn, while other scabs can 180 and headshot you. So, it's just really hard to like get used to how the scav AI works when they're so inconsistent that you can't really reliably make a guess. Squad play is basic. That needs work. The most you can do is like team up with each other so you can see each other on the map, but you can't base build together, which I think is a pain. Like, for example, if I want to build a base with my squad, I would have to do all of the building. They could bring me materials, but then they couldn't even access the base if I wasn't around. So that's something that needs to be worked on. And I really think the last thing I could say is weapon attachments right now are very limited. Right now it's only a couple of flashlights and 3 close range optics. So hopefully they're going to bring more to the game. I do know that they like showed some 3D renders of like hybrid sights that they're wanting to bring, where it's like a 4 times optic with like a red dot mounted on top of it that you could switch between, which would be great, because with how much medium distance fighting is in this game, having some optics with magnification would be great. Thank you. But overall, I do find this game to be very enjoyable, and that's the glitch that I was talking about earlier. And for 20 bucks, it's not a bad experience. The devs seem to be really on the ball. They've released a you know, where they want the game to go. They have released a roadmap and stuff like that. But anyway, this has been Grow the Crux. If you guys do want to join my server, it's a PVE server with PvP allowed in certain locations called Cruxtastic PVE. I'll put how that's spelled in the description. But anyway, you guys have a good day.